Hey everyone, welcome back. Dr. Erik here from MedBetter Health, where we help caregivers like you get the information you need to help your person living with dementia. So today, I'm going to tell you something incredible. We had a conversation yesterday with one of the caregivers, and the caregiver said, listen, I don't know why, but my loved one does not want to take a shower. So that's the problem. Does not want to take a shower. If you're, let's say, advising somebody, don't first say, well, do this, do that, do that. No, 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 no. The first question is we have to understand what is the reason and at what stage of dementia is this person. Why is that important? Well, let's go through some of this over here. A person who has mild dementia may have a very different reason why they don't want to take a shower. A person with moderate dementia will have a different reason, and severe dementia will have a complete different reason of why they don't want to take a shower. So what's the first step? The first step is understanding what level, what degree, what stage of dementia does my person have. Here at MedBetter Health, we actually help through the guide model stage the dementia. So that's number one. So in this specific case, this individual had stage 3. What does stage 3 mean? Stage 3 means severe dementia. So now as I'm talking to this individual's caregiver, I'm saying, listen, let me ask you something. It's severe dementia because we actually did the CDR and we staged it. But does your person still understand when you tell them to do something? Because I'm trying to differentiate, is this something specifically related to the shower, or is it just a generalized not comprehending? The other question I ask is, well, one second. When we talk about shower, does your person hear when you tell them to do something usually? Like it could be, oh, it's a cognitive, it's a dementia problem. But maybe that person actually has a hearing problem and doesn't hear you. Yes, they have dementia, but on top of that, they also have hearing loss. So now you're compounding two major things, dementia and hearing loss, and they're not understanding that they want to go to the shower. So that was the first question. And how do I get the answer? Yes, because when someone tells them, open your mouth, honey, here's some food, the person sees and they open their mouth, right? When they wave to them, they say hello. When they say some words to them, they actually respond, say, uh-huh. So I understand that they can hear. That's the first thing. Can they see? That's the second thing. Physically, are they able to get up? I want to know their movements. So I'm getting the baseline. So this specific person had stage 3 severe. They were nonverbal. They did rely entirely on sounds and gestures, so I understood that. They were able to walk and they were able to actually get to the shower. That's important to me because if someone can't get up, that's a very different situation than when someone could get up, because now I'm distinguishing. Is it the shower that's the issue, or is it a generalized dementia that's the issue and the person doesn't want to do anything at all? Okay, and then we went through questions like, okay, your person living with dementia, even though they have stage 3, they have severe, is there anything that motivates them? So for this caregiver, they said, yeah, they love chocolate cake, they love sweet stuff. Ah, okay, now I got a motivator. That's pretty good. Now I got a motivator. All right, so when we're looking at is, in this specific situation, this person, when they got soiled, they got up and they were taken. That person actually went to the bathroom, held the bar. There was a caregiver changing that soiled situation, right? And that person with dementia would stand there and allow them to do it. Interesting. Interesting. So a person living with dementia, this specific case, had severe dementia, but when they got soiled, they understood that they have to be taken, they have to get up, they stood, they held the bar, meaning they comprehended that they needed to be changed. And they didn't move when they were changed, they were okay. However, this same person, though, when they were taken into the shower, would resist. Oh, interesting. And they would actually grab the caregiver's wrist, and they didn't want to do it. Interesting. So now I understand, even though it's severe dementia, the comprehension is there. and there's something specifically for the shower, and there's something that's triggering that person not wanting to take a shower. Oh, so that's a very different situation now. Now my quest is, what is making my person living with dementia not want to take a shower? How can I identify? Well, maybe they feel uncomfortable being completely exposed in front of a daughter who's there, who's trying to give a shower. Maybe if there's a caregiver there and it's not the daughter, even though they have dementia, they have their dignity, maybe the father doesn't want his daughter to see him exposed. That may be it. So try, you, if you're a daughter or a son or a loved one, try having someone else be in that place and see if there's no resistance. That's number one, right? That's number one. Number two is, maybe there's something with the actual shower. Maybe it's cold in the shower. Maybe every time they're in there, they feel uncomfortable because it's freezing, right? Maybe the shower is too hot. Maybe it's too cold. What is the trigger that's making that person not want to take a shower? So you, as the caregiver, and this is what we help you do within the guide model, right? The guide model is a completely new Medicare program that MedBetter Health is partnered with Medicare. And we provide this training free of charge, covered by Medicare, as well as give you additional resources like people in your home to help you during the time that dad, mom, or your loved one doesn't want to take a shower. And we'll talk more about that towards the end of the video. But let's continue. So in this individual, they understood the exposure, and they were okay being exposed in front of their loved one. So I know it's not an exposure issue. And they were okay with the cleaning procedure, but they had severe physical resistance specifically to the water splashing on their body. Okay, now we've identified the problem. The first step in any situation is to figure out what is the actual problem. Because if I know the problem, what can I then try to find? Come on, guys, you know, what can I try to find? The solution. Right? So now in this case, we've identified the problem. Okay, so what are some of the interventions that we could do? Well, one of the things is making sure the room is the right temperature, right? Because sometimes bathrooms are cooler, the AC is going on, you're getting undressed, they may feel uncomfortable, they may feel cold. So set the core temperature, pre-warm the bathroom to a minimum of about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Bringing the resident in. So it's warm, it's a nice environment. Play a little bit of music. If your loved one loves Frank Sinatra, have some nice "Fly Me to the Moon," right? Have some nice songs out there. And then put some candles, electrical candles, not candles that will flame up, right? Electrical, and say, "Hey honey, let's go to the spa together. I have such nice music." Now when you're taking them, don't pull your loved one like this, "Come on here with me." No, like you go from the side, you grab their palm, and instead of pulling, you kind of put a little bit of pressure to yourself, right? "Come honey, let's go." And it's more gentle, it's from the side, and it's not pulling. And it's not, "You gotta take a shower." It's, "Honey, let's go to the spa. I miss you so much." Nice touch therapy, right? A little bit of sense in the home. That changes the dynamic. There's no stress. There's no type of that type of energy. Okay. Pre-warm the towels to eliminate the shock of a cold surface upon undressing. Now, the other thing that's very important is when you're getting undressed, even though they have severe dementia, "Honey, we're going to cover you right now just to make sure you're not exposed, okay?" Give them that dignity. Cover them up the right way. Now you're getting them into the shower. They're sitting down. Take the shower head. Make the water the right degree. Don't right away splash hot water on the whole body, right? Put it on the foot first. "Honey, is that okay?" Start slow. And you can train your caregivers to do the same, right? You can train your private duty home health aides that help you out to do the same. Okay, that's a pretty good thing. Atmospheric steaming. Start the water well before entry so the room is already steamy, comfortable, and it's audibly predictable for them, that good feeling. Now, the other thing that I mentioned, do not pull. Avoid of this reflex. Do not take them by the hands and start to pull them. You don't want to do this, right? This is not something that you want to do. No, you want to actually do, you could YouTube Teepa Snow, who's great, by the way, in the dementia space, and you could look at her specific technique that is from the side. You grab someone from the side, you put the palm underneath their hand, the palm is facing up, and I highly recommend folks to look at that video. There's a video on YouTube from Teepa Snow, and really, really valuable. Okay, now, this is actually what we came to an agreement with this specific individual. I said, look, what does this person like? This person likes chocolate cake. Okay, so you take this person, and they're sitting down on the bed. You say, honey, look what I got for you. Now remember, they have to hear, and this is a person who actually, even though they're not completely cognitive understanding of what goes on in the world, but they hear, they see, they're able to comprehend certain things. They see the cake, you see the smile on their face because they love cake. It could be anything else, cookies, you name it, right? Pickles. You take it, you say, honey, here you go, and they love it. They love it. You say, okay, honey, come now, and you get people, because sometimes depending on the ambulatory ability, you may need more than one. You have two people, and that's what a guide model is really good for. We actually, Medicare, if you qualify, pays for another person to help you out and to give you some respite and relief. So there's two people, they're coming up, they're picking up Henry or Samantha, and you're giving them another spoon. They're going to the shower, you're giving them another spoon, right? And slowly but surely, you're conditioning them to associate the shower each time with a treat, with the same temperature. It's the same routine. The water is not hot. You're testing the water a little bit. You're not splashing it all over them, right? That's what we used in this individual. So it's really a sensory exposure to something that they like, whether it's chocolate cake, whether it's ice cream, whether it's pudding, right? And you're conditioning them to associate that with getting bathed, right? So it's replacing the negative stimuli with a positive stimuli. Okay, next. Sometimes there are certain situations where you may not be able to be successful, right? And so in those situations, you should have a daily maintenance protocol, right? Complete avoidance of the shower stall and splashing water. If your loved one doesn't want it and they're fighting and you just can't get them to do it at all costs, you've tried everything and they say no, then there's other ways, right? You use no-rinse foam cleansers. There's many in the market. Pre-moistened warm bath tips, right? And really the goal is to maintain localized hygiene with zero sensory triggering. And then if you really have to go and use the shower, then it's a weekly deep clean protocol. It's not associated with just getting soiled or stained. It's just associated with a specific routine. You're giving them some nice treat. You're having nice music. You're having the candles. They're remembering it. It's an experience, right? If they can't remember it, at least their sensory feeling is remembering the ice cream, and they love the ice cream. It's triggering something positive emotion in them. And then you give them that full shower engagement, utilizing all prior conditions and pillars that we talked about. And the frequency really is reserved exclusively for scheduled deep cleaning, whether it's bi-weekly or sometimes once a week, right? Sometimes it would be once a week, depending on your person. So, caregiver consistency. This is very, very important. Caregiver consistency. Assign the exact same one, or two, depending on how heavy lift or how much effort you have to exert to get someone up, right? Familiar caregivers to all primary bathing events. You can't have someone who's like new, right? It's a new person, you're trying to bathe them, it's a disaster. Someone who they know, someone who they smile with, they have a relationship with, even though they may not have full cognitive ability, but they still recognize that person as a positive person in their life, right? And familiar hands, predictable movements, routine, significantly reduce the startle response in late-stage dementia. Optimize scheduling. Schedule bathing during periods when the resident or the patient is historically most calm and receptive. Avoid end of the day, because remember, end of the day, their cognitive ability is already drained. They're exhausted. They may have sundowning, so you don't want to do it towards the end of the day. You may come home at that time, so that's the most convenient. Maybe Sunday or Saturday when you're home, or Friday when you have off, earlier in the day, right? That would be the best time to do it. Avoid forcing a full shower immediately post-soiling if the patient is already highly agitated. Right? And you could utilize the alternative hygiene protocols instead. So I hope this was very, very helpful. With that specific case, we're piloting and we're looking at whether that cake is going to change things, because this person loves cake, whether the atmosphere, the temperature, the music, right, the specific pull, not with the first, but actually from the side with the palm technique, is going to make a difference. We spent yesterday about 30 to 40 minutes on a Zoom call. It was myself, it was my care navigator, it was the actual private duty agency that this new program that we pay for you so you can get the support that you need. So imagine that. You're sitting there, you've got this problem, you don't know who to reach. Now you're part of our program for the guide model, and now you can call your care navigator and say, I need advice, I need ideas. How do I get Charlie, how do I get Samantha into a shower? And you actually have a Zoom call with experts telling you what to do, following up with you, and it doesn't cost you anything. And Medicare covers it. And at the same time, because you need additional help, now this program covers someone to help you in the home so you can get a little bit of relief as a caregiver. That's incredible. That's the guide model. Started in 2024, goes until 2032. An incredible program. I don't have the time to give you all the information about it now, but if you look up here, you're going to see a website. I want you to go to that website. There's going to be a 5-minute video that's going to tell you everything you need to know about the guide model. On the bottom, you're going to see what? You're going to see a form, very simple form that'll take you probably 3 minutes to fill out. We get that information, we reach back out to you, we tell you if you qualify, and your life literally changes through the help and resources that you get. Love to talk to you guys. Hope this was helpful. Subscribe, comment below, let us know what you think. Would love your ideas, some of the techniques you've used. Would love to read that. We respond to everybody, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.